Hi friends, welcome back to Banking Basics. In this video, we are going to see the customer and account status in a banking. So as a customer, if I have on the relationship with the bank, first I will have a customer at the bank level and I can have multiple accounts. So there are different statuses maintained and different operations allowed or not allowed for each status. So we will see in detail about that in this particular video. As I mentioned, I have customer and account. Account meaning here I'm referring to the current and savings account, not referring to term deposit or loans or any other investment activities. So I'm purely looking about the CASA and customer. Okay, here I have listed three segments. The leftmost is the customer only related to customer, and the rightmost is only related to account. The center one belongs to both, meaning dormant, frozen, sanction. It can be at the customer level as well as account level. So it is present at both the side. Based on if all account becomes dormant, then if customer also becomes dormant. It is like that. Or if I put the frozen at the customer level, then all accounts becomes frozen automatically. So it is referring to that. So first we'll see the detail about the customer status. So the first one is deceased. Deceased meaning customer has passed away, legally declared or legally confirmation received. And once it is received, until the nominees comes, no such transactions allowed, including any bank initiated transactions or online transactions or any transaction, even the bank balancing area or whatever thing. So those things are stopped. Even internally also, not all staffs can see the deceased customers information because that can lead to somewhere fraud activity. So that is why. And the second one is whereabouts unknown, where customer is not turned up to the bank for any reason like balance information or inquiry, or bank is trying to reach the customer but unable to reach by any means, by mobile or email or local mail, anything. Customer unable to reach the customer, then the status becomes whereabout unknown. And the third one is blacklisted due to the suspicious activity or fraud activity. Bank has identified, this customer should be blacklisted. So that under blacklist there are multiple reasons. So for each reason, there can have bank can have different actions. Certain like due to the insufficient funds, checks keep on bouncing. So that if I put a blacklist, so no more checkbooks allowed for any of the account, but he can open a new savings account, new deposit, or new loan. So based on that type of blacklist, the bank will do certain restriction on the customer level. And next one is we will see at account level what are the different statuses. There are no credit, no debit, and stop payment. No credit means any credit on that particular account should not be allowed, and no debit meaning any debit should not be allowed in that particular account. Any debit, any credit meaning even bank initiated credit transactions such as credit interest, and no debit meaning loan recovery or auto recovery for the credit card, so things like that. And the third one is stop payment, meaning if check is coming for the clearing, when debiting the particular account, so check will be rejected saying the stop payment is given or no such payments are allowed from this particular account. And customer can have multiple accounts. Each account can have different statuses. Like one account can have no debit, one account can no credit, and another one can stop payment or combination of all three. But not necessary that if one account is marked no debit, other account is also marked as no debit automatically. So things like that. Account level I can have a different one. And third one is third set is the common set, dormant, frozen, and sanction. Dormant, first at the account level, there's a meaning for dormant. Why we are referring as dormant? Meaning customer has not done any transaction, any financial or non-financial activity. Financial activity meaning customer initiated transactions, not bank initiated charges, month-end charges. Customer has to initiate some transaction like ATM withdrawal or online fund transfer or including credit also. If any credit comes from the other bank to this particular account, so that also considered as some activity. So in that case, dormant will not happen. But if no financial transaction happen, then that is treated as dormant. But that is old trend. Nowadays, all central banks are coming up saying, and even non-financial activity. Non-financial activity meaning customer making an IVR call to get the balance information, or customer asking for a statement, or customer is going to ATM for balance inquiry. So if account is connected in any one of the way, then that is also considered as some activity. So the dormant should not be considered for that account. Here at the account level, if I have multiple account, if I keep doing transaction on only one account and not doing anything on the other account can become dormant. One account can be dormant and another account cannot be dormant, that can be active. But if both account becomes dormant, then immediately customer also will become a dormant. If customer becomes dormant after certain years, the central bank, not all the central banks, most of the central banks, what they do is, let's say for 5 years, after 5 years, if any account, any funds are there in the dormant account, credit funds, then transfer it to the central bank. When customer comes back, then pay the money to the customer and get the funds from the central bank to the bank. So whatever, first you get it from the central bank and pay to the customer. This is to accumulate all the dormant funds from the customers and the bank to the central bank, which means central banks want to accumulate and keep it in their books for for various financial activity. And the second one is frozen. Frozen at the account level also I can have, or at the customer level. If customer himself treated, for due to the court order, court may give, due to some suspicious activity, or there is a court case for due to the signature issues. So none of the accounts should get operated. Then at the customer level, they give a frozen, which means no credit, no debit, any transaction will not be allowed. But in case only one particular account, if they want to give the frozen, then account level they can give the frozen action, so that no transactions allowed, including even account statements, balance inquiry, and nothing will be allowed. And last one is sanction. This is coming up in recent days. As we are all aware, US always put a sanction on some particular customers, some particular accounts, or some particular country, not to transact USD amount on those particular things. So, like if some international accounts are there, international project funds, so that account should not get any USD payments or something like that, then they can give, at the customer level also, they can mention none of the account should get this particular transaction, or in particular account we can give. So these are the multiple statuses we maintain at the core banking level. Next, we'll see that the summary, as I mentioned in the previous slide, what are the transaction allowed, activities allowed for each status. So here I've given action and status. The first one is blacklisted. During the blacklisted, I can allow all financial transactions. Only thing is new account opening I will not allow, or new checkbook given, or whatever thing. That is again based on the bank decision and compliance action. Second one is deceased. If deceased, nothing is allowed. Only thing is check return can be allowed. Like if any check is coming for clearing, we can post a return entries. The last third one is the whereabouts unknown. This I said, like customer is unable to, we are unable to reach the customer. This also similarly treated like a deceased. And this dormant. Dormant meanings like bank initiated credit and debit. Credit is like credit interest, and the debit are like charges, month-end charges, end of year charges. Those things are allowed. However, customer initiated debit, credit, or check transactions, except return entries, all those things are not allowed. And for frozen, nothing is allowed. No new booking, no transactions except check return. Check return, if you see, it's mostly allowed in all the status to indicate in the account, or to indicate the other bank also saying no. It's a bounce case. so that they can file some cases or whatever based on the reason. And the other thing is no debit and no credit. When account, this is at the account level. So if account is no debit or no credit, new accounts can be opened because it is at the account level, not at the customer level. But however, a bank initiated transaction, customer initiated transaction, check transactions except check return, not allowed. Stop payment is only for the check transactions, only the check debit, but credit is allowed. Check return can be posted. Thank you. If you have any questions, please put it in comments. I will check and respond. Thank you.